Hi, guys. Good evening. So we're back again. We took a break a week or two from our Parenting Beyond Words series. So this is the parenting show where we get to talk about thematic issues around raising children. And I'm so excited today because I'm hosting one of my very good friends and big brother. And he's a very, very rich resource because he's a father of three and he loves children and he has been in this business for a while. So I'm going to shortly let him come into the studio. I hope a lot of you will join us today because today we are talking about the role of fathers in parenting or in raising children. Looking forward to Father's Day, right? Coming up in June. We've been talking about a lot of areas of parenting, and today we're focusing on the role of fathers. So I'm going to be bringing into the studio Pastor Dimas. Pastor David Dimas, good evening, sir. I know it's morning in
Thank
your
you for
place.
having me. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. So good to see you. Oh my
So
God.
good to see you too. Thanks for having me with my quarantine haircut. And
Oh, it's lovely. It's a new look and it's lovely.
when last did I 16 years ago?
I think so, yes.
Years ago? Wow, that's a long time. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. So, guys, this is Pastor David Dimas. He lives and works in Maryland, right? In the US. Am I right, sir? Can you hear me well?
Correct.
Okay, beautiful, good. So,
All right.
allow him to say hi to you guys before we dive into the topic. Please greet our viewers, sir.
Having a good time in the midst of this global pandemic. You can see people like me still can't go to the barber shop to get a haircut, but I hope you're all doing well. It is a pleasure to come your way to talk about one of the most important things in life, which is fatherhood, which has to do with some of the things I love best in my life, children. First ministry very many years ago. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for having us and agreeing to come on the show. So, children are very, very important to all of us and very special to all of us, And I don't know, but dads are really like a central figure in a child's emotional life and development generally, including every other aspect, not just emotional, physical, spiritual, and every other aspect that a child really needs to grow and develop. I feel like fathers have a very, very important role in raising children and in parenting. So maybe by way of introduction or opening up this chat today, can you share with us what your experience has been as a father? How has it been, sir?
It's been interesting, but I would say that I am one of the lucky ones who had a great father. That does not mean my mom wasn't great. My mom is great, but such a significant role in my life that I saw the importance of fatherhood. That helped me so much to know what to do in some cases. And even when I get confused, God is there to help me. So fatherhood has been very interesting, and challenging, I must confess, especially in a place like America where you have no help. You are the cook, you are the driver, you are the gate man, you are everything. So it's been a good journey so far. So it's been interesting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, really. I want you to talk to us. Just run us through some of the major roles of a father in parenting generally. It doesn't have to be in a chronological order. Just talk to us, sir. Talk to us.
Cognitive role. They play a social role. Fatherhood is crucial in the cognitive, social, and emotional development of children or a child. The father is there to be a father and a friend. You are there to be a teacher, a mentor, a protector, and a provider. Fathers have all these roles to play. So fathers are like the second hand. We have two hands. Fathers are like a hand in making sure that things go well if you're doing anything. Fathers are like one of the eyes also that helps in seeing what happens in the life of a child. So as a father, you have a role to play. You are important in building the person and purpose of the child. Person and purpose of the childhood age, the formative years. So you are there to be the social help, the emotional help. You are there to be the psychological help. You are there to be their first friend and their father. You're there to be to teach them what it is to do chores. You teach them how to ride a bicycle. So teach them in one way. You're there to monitor what they do so that you know where there are mistakes and help them correct. You're there to mentor them and say, this is how it's done. What do I mean by mentoring? You provide a standard. A lot of parents just try to expect kids to know. No, you have to provide a standard for the kids to see, and then you hold them by the standard. Don't say, don't do this anymore. Tell them why this is wrong and why they should not do this. And if wrong, so you hold them to the standard and all that. So, and then you try to protect them from anything that will hurt them and you try to provide for them.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. I have picked some keywords that you have used, and I would just like you to expound on them some more. You've talked about providing, you've talked about protecting, and you have talked about being an example. And this is exciting to me because you have essentially defined parenting. Because when we define parenting, we use the three P's. We say a parent is to protect, provide, and prepare the child. So I'm so excited. I want you to please talk to us more about being a role model and an example to the child. When you talk about a father being an example to the child, can you talk to us more, please? Can you hear me, sir? Are we good? Can you hear me? Did you get that? Hi, I can hear you. What's going on? Okay, I think I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you now. So do I repeat the question? Can I repeat the question?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud
Can
and
you hear
clear.
me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, but I just lost you.
Yeah, the internet network, sometimes it just disappears. I'm so sorry. So what I was saying
I
was
don't know
that,
what that is, but
uh,
let me shut it down to see if I can hear you live.
okay, please, can you talk to us more, sir, about being an example,
Let
a
me
role
try.
model and an example to the child? Yes. So I'll ask the question again. Can you talk to us about being a role model and an example to the child, sir? As a father, being a role model and an example to the child. Did you hear that question?
Maybe we'll have to run this again. I don't know what is happening. I lost you.
Okay. Okay.
Can we run this again?
Okay. Have you tried using your
I just lost
earpiece?
audio on your part. I know you can hear me, but I can barely hear you. I know you would think it's my
Oh,
side,
dear.
like Nigerians would say
Oh,
it's not
dear.
from me.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Oh
Okay.
man.
So, okay. So can you hear me now? Oh dear. It's okay, viewers. So maybe we're gonna shut down and then we're gonna come back again. Uh, we're going to invite um, Pastor Dimas once again to the studio. So, but before he joins us back again, I'm just going to talk about some of the myths. There are certain myths that are around the role of a father in parenting, for instance, right? So, there's some things that sometimes we hear people say. For instance, like a father cannot make mistakes, right? So, when a father makes a mistake, should the father own up that the father has made a mistake? Or should the father just go on moving around the house behaving like it wasn't a mistake? So it looks like fathers are up there and they are so perfect and nothing can go wrong, in the whole parenting business. So, but being real reminds us that fathers can make mistakes because fathers are human beings. And I know that by the time Pastor David Dimas joins us online again, he's going to really talk about that and his experience about what it looks like for a father to make a mistake, to own up to his mistake, and really to possibly amend, or correct whatever mistake he has made so that children can learn life lessons from the father, because the father is one of the key players in parenting and in raising children as far as parenting is concerned. Okay. So another myth I want to raise is, and please feel free to write your comments, guys. Write your comments. Okay. Write your comments, what you think about these myths. These are things that people believe about fathers. What do you think? If you're a father, please write up a comment about what you think. So the first myth is that fathers don't make mistakes. The next myth is that fathers can't say, I am sorry. Oh my God. Can a father say, I am sorry? Right? So is it possible for a father to say, I'm sorry? I think a father can say, I'm sorry. I don't know. But please write me in the comments. Let me see what you think. Maybe because I'm not a father, I really don't know what it feels like telling your child you're sorry. But I feel like in the spirit of being a role model to your child and showing good example, it's important for a father to say, I'm sorry when something goes wrong. Because, for instance, if you think that a child has done something wrong, and later you discover that it wasn't that child that did that, the child that did the wrong thing is another child, right? So I think we have Pastor Dimas back in the studio, and we're going to try one more time. But yes, our viewers are telling us that yes, fathers should say, I am sorry. So let me let in Pastor Dimas back to the studio. Can you hear me now, Pastor?
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
The devil is a liar.
I feel good to be back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but I had to go in and come out again, and then it worked.
Thank you so much. And thank you for not giving up on us.
No.
So we're going to hold on discussing the myths. We're going to do it shortly, and we're going to continue our chat and interaction with Pastor Dimas. Is that okay, sir?
Very much okay. Very much okay.
Thank you. So I was saying how excited I am, and you see I'm all smiles.
I know.
How about how you made mention of three important things. Fathers should provide, fathers should protect, and fathers should be examples to their children. I was asking you, could you please explain more about how challenging or easy, or what are some tips in being a good role model to your child as a father?
Being a father to my children has been very interesting. Being the fact that they're girls and I'm a man, and I have a way of balancing to make them realize that yes, the gender difference is there, but I raised the kids to be an example to them, telling them that we all have choices. You have a choice to do the right thing. You have a choice to do the wrong thing. I don't want you to not do anything because daddy is around. I want you to do the right thing because it's the right thing. So, being an example, I try to make right choices for them or in front of them to be a good example so that they will understand that I have a choice to do the wrong thing, but I have decided that I'm not doing the wrong thing. My dad is not here today, but I am here making choices. I'm here making choices, and somebody wants to say hi to all of you.
Oh, please. We're so, hey, hi, baby. So good to see you. Tell us your name. What's your name?
I'm Dimas and I'm 8 years old.
Oh, baby, I love you so much. I've seen your pictures. Thank you. Okay, say hi to the viewers.
Hi.
All right.
So good to see you, baby. Love you so much. Oh my God. This is amazing, guys. This is like
Yeah,
we are
so you really can't keep them, you
you.
really can't keep them away from you. So, like, okay, fine, say hi. So, going
Okay.
back to what we're talking about, going back to what we're
Yeah.
talking about, you have to be an example to them. And then being a
Mhm.
provider, you have to be able to showcase to them what it takes to provide. Now, I always tell parents who have girls, I say to them, I say, you are their first boyfriend, so to speak. You have to teach them what they expect from boys. You have to teach them what you expect from men, what they will find in men, what they will see in men, and that's important. And that's what I mean by being a teacher, a provider, and a protector. As a protector, they want to be able to know that daddy's got their back. You should be able to showcase to them that you love them so much that you protect them. And I do all the best that I can to show provision and protection for them in various ways. And I spend time with them, making them understand that these are important things in life, and so on and so forth.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. I still can't get over this experience of seeing your daughter. This is amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
so I
it's
decided to
parenting
have because of you.
practice.
I try to keep
Yeah,
them offline. I try to keep them off, and I just
I
say,
know. I'm family, guys. I'm family.
yeah,
Okay, a great privilege. So, sir, I'm going to ask you another question, which is like a dilemma. I've talked with fathers, and I also kind of see fathers struggling with this dilemma of being
mm,
a friend to your child and also the disciplinarian. You discipline and correct a child and also play with the child. Remembering that playing with the child is a fundamental part of
mm,
their and social, behavioral development, and so on. Playing with a child helps the child be cheerful, be lively, and also develop socially and otherwise. So
mhm.
balance it. And please give some fathers some tips because there are some fathers here that are eager to hear
You
what you
know,
have to
I think one of the greatest blessings, and at the same time challenge to humanity, is the ideology of culture. And I want to say this with so much care because you speak and they will say you've been Americanized or something like that. Our culture has a way of making fathers see that they are fathers, they are not friends. That doesn't fly in these days anymore. Just as we used to live in the industrial age, now we live in the information age. In those days, industry sells. Today, information sells. So the kids we have these days, you find out that you have to be there for them to be a father and a friend. You like you mentioned, playing helps them develop a lot of things, a lot emotionally, cognitively, and so on. But here's the deal: people do not understand the difference between abuse and discipline. There has to be a balance between what love is and what discipline is. Listen to this now. If you only focus so much on love and playing with them all the time, no discipline, you spoil the kids. If you focus too much on discipline, you become a terror. It becomes abuse. There has to be a balance between discipline and love. There has to be, you have to make them realize, if you punish them, make them realize why you punish them, and then let them realize after you punish them that you love them. Discipline could be in where I grew up. It has to be, you get some koboko, and all that. But discipline here has to do with taking out privileges that they have and stuff like that. So fathers have to realize that it is okay to be a father and a friend, and it's okay to discipline and to love a child. If you are not there for your child, somebody else will be there for your child. If you don't help your child through love and being their friends, help them see who they can become, society will help them become who they are not supposed to be. My daughter that you just saw has something written on her mirror in her bathroom when she's brushing, to tell her, to remind her who she is. This is my name. I am beautiful. I am smart. I believe in God. I will be great. I am not lazy. I will work hard. So that somebody outside will not tell her who she's not. The TVs are not meant to raise our kids. We as fathers are there to help raise our kids as a father and as a friend. Spend time with them, play with them, discipline them if they do anything wrong. After discipline, call them later. Ask them why they were disciplined. They will tell you. And if they don't get it, let them know. And then as soon as you're done with that, make them realize you discipline out of love, and you motivate them because you are their motivator. It is easier to build them than to mend them.
Wow. Wow. Please say that again. The last statement. You need to say
it is
it again.
easier to build them than to mend them.
Oh my God. This is
build
amazing.
This stage, you see, a lot of parents do not know of something called a formative years. Kids have something called a formative years. If you don't build them from that formative years between the age of 4, 6 to 8, 9, that's what they're going to work with if they are 15, 16. My daughter, one day, I came into the room when she was much younger. I came into the room and she said, "Daddy, why are you in my room?" I said, "I'm in your room because it's my house." And I told her, I said, "You don't pay rent in this house. I own this house, okay? That is settled. So you don't ask me what I'm doing in your room." And that was a settled matter. Did we get that? Yes, Daddy. Okay, come on, jump into the car. Let's go get some ice cream.
Wow. This is balance, guys. This is balance. So a little stick and a little carrot.
Exactly. And then they can move along.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. Thank you very much, sir. You have been doing very, very good justice to these questions. So we're going to dive into the myths, right? So we had discussed some of the myths, 2 of them before you joined us. So we're going to back up. The first one is that fathers don't make mistakes.
Oh.
What do you think?
I think it's not fair if you do that to your kids. If you do that to your kids, you're damaging the future of your kids. Because when they make mistakes, they do not understand they made mistakes. And they will think it's normal. Fathers make mistakes. Part of the mistakes you make has to do with, even sometimes with them. Sometimes you tell them something. Sometimes you tell them what you want to buy for them and you forget. You want to take them somewhere. Fathers make mistakes in what they're doing. And you have to be able to help kids understand, because as a teacher, they are like a sponge. They don't understand a lot of things in life. So if they do not understand mistakes, they will not understand correction. If they do not understand that it's part of human nature to make mistakes, but it is also part of human nature to rise from your mistake, it is not a good culture to raise your kids understanding that our dads don't make mistakes. No, that is a mythical culture that is wrong. Biblically, it is wrong. And I think psychologically and professionally, it is wrong.
Thank you, sir. I think our viewers agree with you too. I have some comments. I'll keep showing them on the screen, right? That yes, human beings, fathers can make mistakes. And as much as it's not fair to the child, I think it's also unfair to fathers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be, yeah.
Exactly. I feel like it places you in some kind of box where you're expected to be perfect. I don't know.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it because then the kids begin to see their father as a Superman, and there's no Superman on earth. It's only X,
Mhm.
you know. And it makes a lot of fathers feel that they are not worthy of being fathers because they've made mistakes. No, it's what I teach the
Mm.
kids when they see things and they say, when they try to understand what is wrong with the guy who made mistakes, who did
Mhm.
something terrible. And I said, you know what, baby? They made mistakes. These are good people who made bad choices. So as
Mhm.
parents, you need to help them realize that also um, we sometimes make bad choices, which is a mistake. As a human, we are
Mhm.
humans. We are humans like any other person. But as much as they see you as a hero, heroes make mistakes also.
Thank you so much. This is profound. Guys, if you have friends that are not watching, please go tell them they can replay, go to YouTube, go to our Facebook page and watch this series, guys, because this is some good stuff. Pastor Dimas is talking about very, very important good stuff here today. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the next myth is saying, I am sorry. Should fathers apologize at all to their children?
So I go back to that thing about culture where fathers think that apology or apologizing is a sign of weakness, which I think is wrong. I've had to say I'm sorry to my girls several times because there's one thing that's established. We've been able to agree at the point I'm their dad, I'm their father, and they know this. If you've demonstrated enough responsibility, you've demonstrated enough emotional and social and cognitive support to them, they know you are their father, they know you are their teacher, their mentor. So, and if you're teaching them about life, like we mentioned earlier, that people make mistakes, and one of the ways of getting back on track is by apologizing, by telling them, I'm sorry. This is what fathers don't know. What you're doing to them, you're teaching them how to do it to others. So,
Mhm.
for them to learn how to apologize, you have to teach them by demonstrating how to apologize. You can't teach
Wow.
them by words alone, you teach them by demonstration also. What they
Wow.
can't catch by what they listen, they catch by seeing. That's what fathers don't understand. So it is okay to apologize to your children because you are teaching them that it is okay to make mistakes. It's also okay to apologize.
Thank you, sir. This response actually is the bane of our parenting beyond words. Enough
Mm,
of talking, guys. Who've been talking, telling them, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. Now we want to challenge ourselves to rise above the talk
yep,
and
yep,
more of role modeling and showing them in practice. I really like what you said, sir, that you're not just doing it to them, you are showing them
yep,
how to treat other people. So
yep.
this really, really profound. Thank you so much, Pastor Dimas, for that. Now,
You're
the
welcome.
next is that fathers don't cry. Fathers don't have emotions.
Oh man. Oh. So
I know this is a tough one, sir.
that's no. So here's how I handle it, right? Here's how I
Yeah.
handle it. I handle it in cases where I make them realize that it is important to let your emotions out. I have never had to cry in front of my kids, not because I'm trying to be a Superman, but I know back in the African culture, apology and crying is seen as a sign of weakness, which is not true. Men cry. It is good to let it out. That's why God created us with tears. It makes the emotion okay. But here's how I answer questions like this to a lot of people based on culture. Number one is that um, you you have a choice to teach them that yes, men can cry and fathers do cry when things happen. If your loved one passes away, you can cry to experience emotion. Let them realize that crying is not a form of weakness. If somebody you love, God forbid, your parents, your uncles, your aunties, because of the connection, because of the emotional connection, you let it out. So fathers do cry, and our fathers should cry if they can, to express to them that, oh, I love my father and he passed away. I'm mourning my mother and all that. It is okay to cry if there's a means to cry. And you let them realize that it is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of emotional expression. But at the same time, the second part of this is how do you let them, there are kids who cry over anything. And then if they cry over everything, you challenge them, why are you crying? He said, Daddy, you said it's okay to cry. You know, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry, but it's also okay to realize that you're crying over something that's important, that's very important to you, not over thought. So if you see Daddy cry, that is crying over something that is very strong and that it loves so much. Yes, you can cry if you lose your toy, which is okay. So if you can cry over your toy, Daddy can cry over something he loves also. So it's okay. But here's the deal.
Thank you.
There are age groups, age groups. If you feel you want to show this to your kids that are 8 years old, fine. 10 years old, it's okay. It's okay.
Wow, thank you. I like your approach to this discourse because there is always a balance to this message that we're giving out. So, as much as we want our children to understand that we could be emotional and we could feel free to express our emotions, we should also teach them to have a grip so that they understand there is time for everything and there are certain things you could cry about, other things you should be brave about. And so, like the balance that you give to it. Now we're going to talk about 3 more myths. The next one is saying I love you to your kids. You touched a bit on it earlier, saying you should show your children how much you love them. And one of the ways is saying I love you. I don't know if fathers are comfortable saying I love you to their children.
So, I think again it goes back to the cultural thing. My father loves me very much. My mother loves me very much. My father loves me very much, but because of culture and how he was raised, I never for one day heard "I love you" from him because that's how he was raised. And to a certain point, if you do not say that to your kids, they don't hear that outside. The first person they should hear "I love you" from is you. You have to teach them the different kinds of love. There's a love that exists between a father and a daughter, a father and a son, a husband and a wife, siblings, and all that. The first example of love they will ever see outside is the love they see from you. So some kids, unfortunately, the only way or only place they will see love is from their father because of the community they found themselves. Fathers should say, I love you to your kids. It is soothing, it is assuring, it is expressing, it makes them know they're appreciated, they are loved, they're special. One of the ways you can show them they're special is by telling them, I just love you, you're beautiful. I love you.
Yay! Please, can you tell your daughters you love them? Say it over the air. We want to hear.
They are up on their tablets. So they hear this every day. They hear this every day from me in the morning. I love you, baby. When I'm leaving for work, I love you, baby. When I'm going to bed, I love you. I love you too, daddy. Very, very important. Very important.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, the next one is there's a myth, a belief that fathers or maybe parents were all the best in their class. They all took first. There was no last position. What's going on with that, sir?
It's very funny. It's very funny because a lot of parents do that as a way to motivate their kids and inspire their kids, you know. And I would say a funny thing that happened between me and my daughter because I went to pick her up one day from school and there was a tornado and they invoked the emergency, blah blah blah, for the school. And I asked her, why did it take so long? And she told me, oh, they had to take them to a special place, tell them to do like this and all that. I was telling her how when I was that age, there will be thunder striking, but I have to walk in the rain to go to school.
Oh.
And I was telling her how when I was that age, I mean, this is not a lie, how when I get back from school as a class monitor, I will carry oil on my head to sell and support the family. But going back to our answers is this. Parents do that a lot to motivate their kids, even the ones who came last in class, would say, listen, I came first, just to motivate their kids, because their kids they don't have a way of noticing that, oh, well, I know all that. So parents do that
Yeah.
to motivate kids, which is not fair. Fathers are not
Thank
the
you,
best.
sir.
They're
Wow.
not the best. In fact, let me say this,
Thank
right?
you.
The
Yeah.
greatest, the ladies who gave me the greatest challenge educationally growing up in elementary school, two
Mm-hmm.
ladies and one guy. So daddy wasn't the best. Daddy was coming second, third, fourth, second, third, fourth. My father did my best to motivate me to carry first. I never took first. My position was second, third, fourth. And I told my daughter,
Wow.
you can break that gym.
Wow. Exactly. And that's even inspiring to her.
Yeah, yeah,
Where,
yeah.
oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Finally, fathers cannot help with bathing their children.
So yeah, so as you know, we have girls, and bathing is one of the times we bond. Um, there are things that the father can teach, there are things that the mother can teach. But there are things that the mother cannot teach very well and the father can teach very well. There are some things that the mother does not have patience for and the father has patience for. In our time today, parenting has gone beyond culture. So for me, I shower for my kids. And then my older daughter, while I was showering for her, I was teaching her the opportunity how to shower. And then when she got a little bit older, I started motivating her. She started learning from what I taught her. And as a result of that, she takes her bath by herself, remembering how when daddy was showering for her, he was teaching her, wash here, wash that, do this and do that. But here's another caveat, especially in these days of emotional abuse and sexual abuse to kids.
Yeah.
My kids don't go for sleepover. My daughter went for sleepover to her best friend's house, and she's a single mom. When anytime the best friend comes, I don't shower for her. I shower for my girls, and then my wife showers for the lady. I don't touch other people's kids. I touch my kids. So it's okay for parents to shower for their kids. It is another bonding time.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, really, because I know when I was working and really busy before all these things happened, that was the opportunity I had to ask them, how was school? Tell me all about it. What happened? And then they'll go on to tell you stories and you discover things that you wouldn't have discovered on a good day
Exactly.
if you have that opportunity. So I really agree that spending time with the child, helping out with some chores or whatever it is they're doing at home would really help to bond. And that's
Yeah.
important for parents and fathers and children. Thank you so much, Pastor David Dimas. Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure. Anytime.
Been amazing. Kai, thank you so much. So thank you for answering these questions and also this beautiful chat. We're now going to close. And I would say our viewers, if you have any question for Pastor Dimas, you could write it in the comment and I will read it out and he will answer your questions. So before the questions come up, maybe by way of closing, please, can you share with us one of your greatest parenting challenge and what you did or what you're doing to rise above it, to overcome it? I mean, I tell people my greatest challenge was saying no to my kids. Like, I would say no and they'll be crying and I'll go aside and cry.
Oh man.
Please share with us what has been
So,
your great.
so this is funny because everybody knows I have this balanced way of bringing kids up. Since, like I said, Sunday school teaching kids was my first ministry. I taught the lesson at home. I taught in primary school in Nigeria many years ago, and I have a way of balancing. But kids will always have their own way of interpreting it. In the house, they say daddy is the no maker, mommy is the yes maker, because there are a lot of things that they want to do. Daddy will say no. One of my greatest challenge in parenting has been raising up twin girls of different personality. The twins have separate personality, and it is a bit of a challenge. It's been a challenge trying to work with both of them, and it's something I haven't done in my life before. And trying to cope with two separate mindset and mentality and cognitive ability, it's been a challenge. It's been my greatest challenge, and I think one of the greatest challenge is having people not judge them in the same way. So parenting for me, the greatest challenge has been trying to deal with the twins, and at the same time, when you have an 8-year-old that is 2 years different from them, sometimes she wants to do what the younger ones do. Her younger ones do. It's been a challenge trying to push her out of that picture. And what I did was I had to create her own world for her because she's this years old, and then her kids are there. So my greatest challenge has been raising two girls of the same age, of different ability. One is lagging behind, one is ahead, and you try to cope and try to make her realize it's okay to be behind, and it's okay that your sister's behind and all that. And yeah, emotionally it gets to me. It gets to me because I see a lot of things that I wish I can help her move forward. So that's been my greatest challenge.
Wow, this is so emotional.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything you do, books you have read, articles you read? What have you done to kind of boost your skills in parenting and to kind of overcome some of the challenges you face so that viewers can maybe have access to some of these materials as well?
Yeah, I've had to listen to a lot of family-focused parenting shows many years
Okay.
ago. One of the
Okay.
most important thing, like I said, my father played a very big role. My parents played a big role in my life. And then I won't really say I've read books per se. I've read blogs, important blogs, and then family focus. I used to learn a lot from them. Why? Because I started preparing, especially in a place like America. I started preparing on how to parent in America, knowing very well that it's different. So I listened to a lot of Christian shows, psychological shows that tells you how to parent, how to improve on your parenting, and how to let go with a lot of your cultural barriers that you have because culture, if you're not careful, culture will hinder a lot of things in your life. So that's important for viewers to spend time to learn. For fathers, don't be too proud to think you can't learn from another man of how to be a father. If you are overwhelmed, ask father, spend time with them, you will learn. It's important.
Mm. Thank you so much. So far, we don't have any questions. So that sounded like farewell notes, but I would want to still receive one from you.
Okay. Yeah.
One thing
So
you're gonna give them, yeah.
yeah, I want to say that it is okay to be there for your kids. Please don't be too busy for your kids. This is one thing I want to tell parents, especially dads. When you're on the phone doing anything, so I teach my kids to say, if I'm on the phone, not to just jump into me, to say, "Excuse me, daddy." If it's an emergency, say, "Excuse me, daddy." If it's not an emergency, just wait till I finish phone call. So each time they say, "Excuse me, daddy," give them that attention. Whatever you're doing, do the best that you can to pay attention to them. Because if you don't give them attention, they will seek attention somewhere. It's not okay for them to seek attention in TV. It's not okay for them to seek attention on their tablets. It is okay for them to get your attention and realize that my father will always be there for me each time I call upon him, anytime, any day. Don't be too busy for them and don't be too cultural for them. Don't be too stiff for them. You're a father, not a robot. You should be able to embrace them, motivate them, and rebuke them. Hold them responsible. Be there for them, so that when you're handing over their hands, if they are girls like me, if you're handing over their hands to their husband, you're handing over a good material to them. And if you're going to have another father hand over the kids hand to you, their girls, make sure that the fathers are handing over a very, very good girl to a very good, well-trained boy.
Wow, wow, amazing. Thank you so much. This has been Pastor David Dimas, and it's been an awesome time. I have personally learned so much from you. And guess what? My husband is watching.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
today for me.
I know he's going to share some of the things that he picked from what you've said too. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time, and I truly am happy that you obliged us and you came for this conversation.
Yeah, I want to say this. Well, now that you mentioned your husband, right? I want to
Yes,
say
sir.
this. I know it's your time. I want to beg all the fathers to work with the
Mm.
mothers to have
Yeah.
unity in parenting. Unity in
Yeah.
parenting is important. The kids have what is called divide and conquer. They will go to the father and try to pitch the father against the mother. You know,
Yeah.
so please let there be unity in parenting, okay? And all that. Make your parents, make your kids know there's unity in parenting. Thank you very much.
Okay. So there is a question, kind of. Someone said, advice to a father who is not a good role model to their children and never wants to admit. What would you say to that father? Now, this is a mother talking. So, what's your advice to that father, please, before you
I
go?
would say, I want to invoke from the spiritual, from my Christian faith, because I know there are people watching this show from all faiths. One, you start praying. Men could be stubborn. You start praying, you really pray. And then two, you actually try to talk with them, be patient with them, make them realize that it's not a sign of weakness. Give them that. See, here's one thing men like: give them that time, give them that space, give them that bandwidth, give them that runway. You know, gently begin to make them realize that this. Don't come to them in a negative way. Come to them in a positive way. If you come to them in a negative way, then you spark up something in them. But when you come to them in a positive way that empowers them, a lot of men like that want to be empowered. They want to be the man that has the power. If it means you're stooping to conquer, do that. Take time to come to them in a positive way, be patient, and move to them slowly but surely. And over time, it's going to work with prayers also.
Thank you so much. I honestly, when I started this program 6 years ago, I started this family program. I had to be patient to allow my husband get on board. So I have been where she is, and one thing that worked for me was being an example myself. So when he watched me become those things I was saying, and it looked, children were always coming to me, he decided to, okay, what are you talking about? Let's do this thing together. I also want to be the go-to person. Okay. So really it works. Be patient and do everything that Pastor Dimas has said to do. It will take a while, but it will work. So much, Pastor. It's been amazing time having you. And be sure you are definitely coming back for another topic.
Just give me time and then we'll work that out.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time talking with you.
Always a pleasure.
My regards to your wife.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And the beautiful princesses, please, kisses and hugs to them. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. Bye. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. So, guys, this has been Parenting Beyond Words. Today, we talked about the role of fathers in parenting. So I believe you have learned so much. Please go home, practice these things you've learned, ask us questions. If you have questions, all you have to do is check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Oasis Youth NG, and we are just a click away. See you soon, and happy Children's Day in advance. Bye, guys.